The stars were quiet. The void between systems was calm, like a sleeping ocean. But then, out of nowhere, a distress call spread across the galaxy. The message was broken, filled with static, and it carried only one line that repeated over and over, "Help us. They are here. We cannot hold them back." No one knew who had sent the message. No one knew from where. The coordinates were old, from a dead system with no life and no stations. But the signal was strong, and it spread like wildfire through trade routes, council channels, and pirate frequencies. At first, many believed it was real. Civilizations whispered to each other, afraid that some unknown enemy was rising again. Merchants avoided the lanes near the coordinates. Fleets changed their patrols. Even the Galactic Council called for an emergency meeting. But not everyone believed. Some called it a trap. Others laughed, saying it was only broken machinery sending random signals. Yet, deep inside, there was unease. Something about the way the signal repeated, desperate and unending, felt too human. That was what caught Earth's attention. The humans had heard the message too. While others debated, argued, and wasted time, Earth stayed silent. 4 days, their fleets moved in secret. 4 nights, their scientists decoded the fragments. Hidden under the static, they discovered something chilling: patterns. The message was not random. It was artificial. Someone had built it to look like human distress. It was a fake. But then came the greater question: who would dare send a fake human distress signal? In the past, civilizations had learned a dangerous truth. Humanity did not ignore distress calls. No matter the distance, no matter the risk, if someone cried for help in human tongue, the humans came. They came with fleets. They came with fire. They came with fury. That truth had saved allies and destroyed enemies. So why now? Why this signal? Across the quiet sectors of space, small alien outposts began to notice something strange. Long-range sensors caught massive human warships moving without beacons. Old dreadnoughts, polished and armed, drifted through the void like silent predators. Carriers left Earth's orbit, vanishing into deep space. Convoys of supply ships followed. At first, no one spoke about it. But rumors spread. The humans were preparing for something. Meanwhile, near the fake signal's coordinates, the truth waited. A fleet sat in the shadows, hidden by cloaking fields. They were not human. Their ships were sharp, angular, built for ambush. Their commanders watched the void, waiting for humanity to arrive. They were certain the trap would work. They believed humans were predictable, easy to bait with fake cries for help. And when the human fleet entered, they would strike, destroying them in one swift, glorious battle. But they had made a mistake. For humanity had already discovered the lie. And instead of rushing blindly into the trap, the humans did something else. They watched. They waited. They planned. On the bridge of the HSS Valiant, a warship older than most alien nations, Captain Adrian Locke stood in silence. His eyes were fixed on the holographic display, showing the region where the signal pulsed endlessly. Around him, officers worked quietly, their hands moving across glowing consoles. "The signal is fake," Locke said at last, his voice calm but sharp. "But the hand behind it is real. They expect us to rush in. They think we are blind." Commander Reyes, his second in command, narrowed her eyes. "What do we do then?" Locke looked out into the darkness. The stars outside were endless, cold, and patient. "We show them," he said, "that humanity does not fall for games. If they want us to answer, we will answer. But not as prey." Far away, the hidden fleet still waited, confident in their trap. They believed the humans would come like fools. They believed the signal would draw them in like moths to fire. What they did not know was this: humanity was already here. Silent. Watching. Preparing. And when humans prepared, the galaxy remembered. The void shivered as the Valiant and her sister ships shifted position, their engines burning quietly in the dark. Hundreds of human vessels were spread across the edges of the trap, surrounding the hunters without being seen. The hunters thought they were waiting for prey. Instead, they were the ones already inside the jaws of something far more dangerous. The distress signal continued to echo, "Help us. They are here. We cannot hold them back." But now, in the cold darkness of space, another truth was about to be written, one that no fake signal could ever erase. Because when humanity answered, it was never with silence. It was with fury. The hidden alien fleet had no idea what was coming. Their sensors picked up nothing unusual. In their minds, they had set the perfect trap. The humans, if they came, would charge straight into it, just as every other species would. They would overreach. They would die. But humans did not work like that. On board the HSS Valiant, the bridge was calm, almost eerily quiet. Captain Locke studied the holographic map, tracing the lines of the enemy fleet, even though it was hidden. They had scanned the system for weeks, using every secret probe, every listening post. The humans had patience. The humans had precision. And the humans had the advantage of knowing the enemy believed they were predictable. "Sir," Commander Reyes said, pointing to a display. "They've positioned their ships in a perfect ambush pattern. 4 sectors. They must think the fake signal has us trapped. If we move now—" Locke's face was unreadable. "If we move now," he said slowly, "we turn their confidence against them. They think they have us. But what they don't know is that the humans never rush in blindly. We wait. We study. And we strike when they least expect it." Below deck, engineers monitored the engines and weapons systems. Every human warship was silent, cloaked, and ready. Hundreds of small fighter craft lined the docking bays, prepared to launch in seconds. The Valiant itself carried more firepower than an entire alien destroyer squadron. Yet the humans did not want a battle yet. They wanted control. Meanwhile, the aliens grew impatient. Their commanders sent messages across the fleet, ordering ships to tighten the trap. "We wait for them," one said, voice dripping with certainty. "They cannot resist. They will come." But humans never behaved as expected. Locke turned to his communications officer. "Patch the signal through. Make it clear we received it." The officer hesitated. "Sir, you mean, reply?" Locke nodded. "Yes. Let them think we are distracted. Let them believe we are coming to help, as they expect. But we are not. We are preparing. They will show themselves first." The message, deceptively simple, went across the void. "We heard your call. Help is on the way. Hold strong. We are coming." For the alien fleet, it was exactly what they wanted to hear. Their sensors lit up with excitement. They are moving into position. The humans are coming. Prepare the ambush. Back on the Valiant, Locke smiled faintly. "Let them think that," he said. "We are already where they will strike. And they don't even know it." Outside, the stars were quiet witnesses to the tension. A single human ship could go unnoticed, but hundreds moving together were dangerous even without firing a single shot. The human fleet spread across the shadows, creating a web the aliens could not see. The humans watched the hunters, ready to strike at the perfect moment. Then came the first test. A scout ship, small and fast, approached the outer perimeter of the fake signal. The aliens detected it and opened fire immediately, certain they had spotted the leading edge of the human fleet. Energy beams cut through the darkness, moving like deadly snakes. But the scout ship vanished before a single hit landed, cloaked in technology the aliens had never seen. The alien commanders panicked, if only slightly. "Where did it go?" one shouted. "It should be right here." Locke watched the display as the scout returned safely. "They are confident," he said. "They think the humans are fools. Soon, we will teach them how wrong they are." The tension in space grew thicker than any storm. Every alien ship tightened its formation, weapons charged, engines humming with barely restrained power. They were ready to destroy anything that moved. But the humans had patience. They waited. They calculated. Every movement was precise, every ship in position, every fighter ready to launch in perfect synchrony. The aliens were predators, but the humans were the hunters of hunters. And the first strike, when it came, would be the last mistake the aliens ever made. The alien fleet was restless. Hours had passed since their trap was set, yet the humans had not entered. The commanders scratched their heads. Surely they cannot resist a distress call? But the humans remained unseen, their movements calculated, silent, and lethal. On board the HSS Valiant, Captain Locke watched the alien patterns on the display. "They're confident," he said quietly, almost to himself. "Too confident. That is their weakness." Commander Reyes leaned closer. "They will not wait forever. How long do we hold?" "Until they make the first mistake," Locke replied. "Humans never attack blindly. But we strike when the enemy shows weakness." The first mistake came sooner than anyone expected. One of the alien ships, larger and slower, advanced too close to the sector edge. Its weapons hummed loudly, sending a clear message: it was ready to fire. Other alien vessels noticed and mirrored the movement, tightening formation around the prey. They did not know they were already inside the trap. Locke activated the fleet-wide comms. "Positions confirmed. Launch all scouts. Prepare fighters. Stand by for strike." The human ships moved like shadows. Hundreds of fighter craft and drones deployed silently, forming invisible nets around the alien fleet. Sensors tracked every ship, every engine pulse, every weapon signature. The aliens still had no idea. They thought they were hunting. Then came the moment. A single human fighter broke through the outer perimeter, invisible to alien sensors. It fired a pulse beacon that triggered all the human ships to reveal themselves. Suddenly, from the darkness, hundreds of human warships emerged, surrounding the alien fleet from every side. Their shields flared as weapons powered up, a silent warning across the void: the hunters had become the hunted. Panic erupted in the alien fleet. Sensors overloaded, weapons systems scrambled. "Impossible!" one commander shouted. "They were everywhere." Locke's voice came through the human fleet's comms, calm and cold. "You sent a fake signal. You expected fools. You will now meet humans." The aliens fired desperately, beams cutting through the darkness, but the humans had anticipated every move. Shields absorbed the blasts, and counters struck with precision, disabling key engines and weapons in moments. One by one, the alien ships began to fall into formation traps, drifting helplessly as human fighters harassed their systems. A massive destroyer tried to retreat, engines flaring, but a human cruiser cut it off, firing precise bursts that tore through its hull. Explosions bloomed like flowers in the void, illuminating the stunned faces of alien crews. "Target neutralized," reported Commander Reyes. "They're losing cohesion fast." Locke nodded. "Good. Keep pressure. Do not let them regroup. Remember, we do not aim to kill unnecessarily. But we do not forgive lies and deception." Despite their panic, some aliens tried to fight back. Their ships twisted, fired, and maneuvered. But the humans had anticipated every tactic, every angle. Every escape route had been predicted, every blind spot covered. Within minutes, the so-called ambush fleet was shattered. In the midst of battle, the fake distress signal continued to broadcast, repeating, "Help us. They are here. We cannot hold them back." But now, it sounded hollow, meaningless. The humans had turned the message into a weapon, using it to draw the aliens out, only to crush them. Locke's eyes scanned the battlefield. "Signal is working," he said. "But now it's time to finish it." The Valiant fired a concentrated energy volley at the largest enemy ship, the one that had led the formation. Shields flared, then broke. The ship convulsed as internal systems overloaded. Explosions tore through the hull, and the flagship drifted dead in space. The remaining aliens attempted one final stand, but it was too late. Human fighters swarmed them from all directions, disabling engines, weapons, and communications. Within moments, the ambush fleet was no longer a threat. Locke turned from the display. All units, hold formation. We've proven our point. But let them remember this: humanity does not fall for tricks. Humanity does not retreat from threats. And humanity answers all calls of deception with fury. Even in victory, the humans remained silent, disciplined, and precise. No celebrations. No boasts. Only readiness. Out in the void, remnants of the alien fleet drifted, broken and terrified. The fake signal that had lured humanity had failed completely. What was meant to be a trap had become the proving ground of human might. And somewhere, in the quiet depths of space, new observers watched. The galaxy was learning something it had long ignored: humans were not only unpredictable, they were unstoppable when roused. The message had been a lie. The humans had answered with truth, fury, precision, and the unshakable force of their will. The stars themselves seemed to hum, as if the galaxy recognized that nothing would ever be the same again. The remnants of the alien fleet drifted silently through space, broken and terrified. Yet, in their panic, a chilling thought spread among the survivors: if humanity could do this to one fleet, what else could they do? Captain Locke did not celebrate. On board the HSS Valiant, the bridge remained quiet, calm, and controlled. Human ships repositioned, scanning the sectors for any other threats. Every movement was precise, every engine pulse monitored. Victory was theirs, yes, but humanity never let pride cloud strategy. Commander Reyes approached Locke, still watching the holographic battlefield. "Sir, the survivors are sending messages," she said. "They're calling for reinforcements. They know we're here, and they know the signal was fake. They're terrified." Locke's eyes narrowed. "Then we stay ready. They will try something else. And if they do," his voice hardened, "we will be ready." Far beyond the wreckage, deep space communications channels lit up with urgent calls. The alien survivors begged allies across the stars for help. Ships of all shapes and sizes began mobilizing. Long-range sensors detected dozens of fleets moving toward the system where the fake signal had originated. The galaxy was stirring. The humans had made their presence known. And now, fear spread faster than fire. On Earth, High Command monitored the situation. President Marshall stood before the Command Council, watching the live feeds from human fleets scattered across the sectors. "They thought they could manipulate us with lies," she said. "They thought they could lure humans into a trap. They were wrong. Very wrong. Humanity does not fall for deception. Humanity answers with fury." Back in the system, Locke studied the incoming enemy movements. "They'll come in waves," he said. "They will test us, probe our strength, and hope to find a weakness. Let them try. We are stronger than they know." The first wave approached cautiously, ships advancing slowly, scanning for threats. They had learned the lesson of the destroyed ambush fleet: they would not rush blindly this time. Yet, they did not know that every move they made was already predicted. The humans had anticipated reinforcements. They had mapped every possible trajectory, prepared countermeasures, and were ready to strike the moment the enemy revealed themselves. "Fighters, launch in 10, Locke commanded. "All units, hold pattern. Remember, our strength is precision. Do not fire until I give the order." The alien ships crept forward, unaware that they were entering a trap even deadlier than the first. As the human fighters launched, their movements were invisible until the last moment, forming encircling formations that cut off any escape routes. Sensors flickered in panic aboard the alien ships. "They are everywhere," one commander shouted, voice trembling. Reyes smiled faintly. "They still think they can control the situation." Locke shook his head. "They still think they understand humans. That is their mistake. Humans are never predictable. And humans never forgive deception." The battle began silently. Human ships struck with surgical precision, targeting engines, shields, and communications, leaving the alien crews disoriented. Explosions rippled through the fleet like controlled lightning, stunning observers in space and sending panic across reinforcements. Yet, amidst the chaos, one ship broke formation, a massive alien dreadnought moving straight toward the Valiant. It was bold, desperate, and reckless. Locke did not flinch. "Prepare the countermeasures," he said calmly. "Let it come. This is the moment we prove how deadly humans can be when cornered." The dreadnought fired its first salvo, beams cutting through the void. Shields flared, but the humans anticipated every strike. Their counterfire disabled the dreadnought's weapons, engines, and navigation systems almost instantly. The massive ship drifted helpless, a tomb of metal in space. Reyes watched, stunned. "Every attack is precise, perfect." Locke nodded. "Humanity has always survived the impossible. And now, we are unstoppable." As the first reinforcements realized the human trap, hesitation spread like disease. Fleets slowed, commanders debated, and confusion ruled. Humanity's methodical patience had transformed fear into chaos. They had turned deception into opportunity. And still, the humans did not celebrate. Victory was not for arrogance. Victory was a promise, a warning to all who dared lie, cheat, or underestimate them. In the dark, empty void, the stars seemed to hold their breath. Humanity had answered a false call with fury, precision, and strategy. And the galaxy was taking notice. Somewhere beyond the sensors, new eyes observed. Other civilizations had felt the tremor of human wrath. Others would soon learn that lies against humanity were dangerous. That deception could awaken a storm no one would survive. The message had started as a trap. But humanity had rewritten it as a lesson. And the lesson was clear: never test the patience of humans. The galaxy was waking up. Word of humanity's strike spread faster than any message could travel. Systems that had once dismissed Earth as insignificant now whispered fearfully of humans, the species that did not fall for traps and answered lies with fire. On board the HSS Valiant, Captain Locke did not allow pride to distract him. The alien reinforcements were incoming, larger and faster than the last wave. Their numbers were unknown, but intelligence suggested dozens of fleets were converging on the system. They had seen what humans could do and had learned, just enough to be cautious. "Sir," Commander Reyes said, her finger hovering over the tactical display, "they're moving in formation. This isn't reckless like before. They've studied us. They're trying to avoid another disaster." Locke nodded. "Good. That means they believe they have a chance. Let them. Overconfidence is a human advantage. The more they think they can predict us, the faster they'll fall into our plan." The first signs of the new wave appeared on long-range sensors, sleek, heavily armed vessels advancing cautiously, shields glowing faintly under stress. They had learned from the destroyed fleets. They had studied humanity's moves. Yet, they had no idea that humans had anticipated every strategy, every hesitation, every maneuver. "Launch reconnaissance drones," Locke ordered. "Scan every vector. No ship moves unnoticed." Outside, in the cold dark of space, the drones spread like ghosts, invisible and silent. They mapped the enemy's positions with perfect accuracy, feeding data directly to human warships. Every angle, every weak point, every formation flaw was recorded. Humanity did not panic. Humanity did not rush. Humanity prepared. The alien commanders believed they were cautious, but caution without understanding was nothing. They tried to bait humans again, using fake retreats, false distress signals, and scattered probes. But humans saw it all. Every trick was already neutralized before the enemy even knew it was countered. "Sir," Reyes said, pointing to the tactical display, "they've sent a small strike team to probe our perimeter. It looks like they're testing our defenses." Locke smiled faintly. "Let them. We want them to believe they have the initiative. We strike only when they commit fully." Moments later, the first probe vessels entered human detection range. They fired blindly, hoping to create chaos. In response, the humans executed maneuvers so precise that the probes were trapped almost instantly. One by one, their engines overloaded, weapons disabled, systems hacked. Within minutes, they drifted helpless, warning shots of human power. The aliens on the command ships panicked. Impossible! They predicted everything, one shouted. How can one species anticipate so perfectly? Locke's voice was calm over the comms. It is simple. Humans do not make mistakes when survival is at stake. And deception cannot trick us. While the probe vessels were neutralized, the main alien fleet advanced, thinking the humans were still trapped in their own traps. Then came the moment Locke had been waiting for. Release the fighters, he ordered. All units, engage with precision. Strike now. Hundreds of human fighters erupted from stealth positions, surrounding the alien fleet in perfect formations. Weapon systems fired in synchronized volleys, disabling shields and engines in bursts that left alien crews disoriented and terrified. Entire command bridges were cut off from their ships, rendering coordination impossible. One of the alien commanders tried a desperate maneuver, attempting to retreat through a narrow sector. But human warships anticipated it. The Valiant and her sister ships blocked the exit, cutting off escape routes, turning the fleet into a cage of destruction. Reyes watched in awe. They thought they had learned from us. But they have learned nothing. Locke's gaze never wavered. No species can match human precision when the stakes are this high. Every move, every calculation, every action. It is survival. And humans do not forgive lies. As explosions lit the void, the surviving aliens attempted to regroup. But it was futile. The human fleet moved as one organism, precise, disciplined, and deadly. Each alien ship that tried to break formation was cut down, their attacks predicted, blocked, and neutralized before they could even react. For the first time in history, the galaxy truly saw the cost of testing humanity. One species had been lured by a simple signal, yet that trap had turned into a demonstration of human supremacy. And as the alien fleets were driven back or destroyed, the stars seemed to hum in warning. Lies against humans were dangerous. Deception against humans could awaken a storm that no force could stop. The Valiant and her fleet held formation, ready for the next wave, watching, calculating, waiting. Because humanity's fury was not just a reaction, it was a promise. And the galaxy had just begun to feel it. The void was quiet again, but this time, it was a dangerous kind of quiet. The alien fleets that had tested humanity were shattered, humiliated, and terrified. Yet, far beyond the known sectors, a new force watched, hidden and patient. They had seen the destruction, the precision, the fury of humans, and they were not impressed. They were calculating. On board the HSS Valiant, Captain Locke reviewed the latest reports. They're gathering strength, he said. Something bigger is coming. The first waves were only probes. Now the real threat is emerging. Commander Reyes frowned. How many ships are we talking about? Do we know their technology? Locke shook his head. Not fully. But we know one thing, whatever is coming, they've learned that humans are not to be underestimated. And that makes them more dangerous than ever. In the depths of uncharted space, an immense fleet stirred. It was unlike anything the galaxy had seen. Ships the size of small moons, bristling with weapons, cloaking devices, and shields beyond imagination. The leaders of this fleet had sent the original fake signal. They had baited humanity once, thinking they understood human nature. And now, they were coming to see the cost of their arrogance firsthand. Back in the human fleet, scouts detected faint movements far beyond the current battlefield. Lockheed analysts projected trajectories and enemy positions. Sir, one officer said nervously, the fleet is enormous. They're approaching at sublight speeds, but their numbers, they are overwhelming. Locke's eyes narrowed. Good, he said quietly. Let them come. Let them see what humans can do when pushed to the edge. Let them think this is a challenge. This is humanity's advantage. The bigger the threat, the sharper our fury. In the alien command ships, panic was now replaced by determination. We will crush them, one commander hissed. They may have destroyed our fleets, but humanity cannot stop everything. Prepare for full assault. And so the stage was set. The hidden fleet moved silently, massive shadows against the stars, preparing to strike. Humanity had defeated the first wave, but now they faced an enemy with unimaginable power, intelligence, and cunning. Locke gathered his officers. We are not afraid. Every move they make, every plan they devise, we have already considered. Humanity survives the impossible because we are adaptable, precise, and ruthless when necessary. This is what they do not understand. They thought a fake signal would lure us. They will now learn what happens when humans decide the fight is theirs. Reyes checked the fleet's systems. Shields at maximum. Fighters ready. All weapons primed. Our drones are monitoring every trajectory. Locke nodded. Good. Stay ready. Patience is our weapon. They believe we act predictably. We will prove them wrong. The first contact was subtle. Alien scouts tried to probe human positions, testing for weaknesses. They were obliterated within seconds by unseen forces. Fighters struck from the shadows, neutralizing engines, communications, and weapons before crews could respond. The hidden fleet realized too late that humanity's reach was precise, and their technology, while impressive, was no match for human strategy and coordination. Yet, as the main force approached, the humans knew this battle would be different. The sheer scale of the fleet meant that mistakes were dangerous. A single wrong move could allow the enemy to breach human defenses. Locke stood silently on the bridge, staring at the holographic representation of the approaching armada. They are coming, he said softly. They believe they are ready. They are not. And when they strike, they will see what humans do when provoked. In the distance, the stars seemed to shimmer as the massive alien fleet advanced. Every alien ship carried a message of arrogance and contempt for humanity. Yet humanity did not flinch. Humanity never flinched. The calm before the storm was deafening. And when the storm broke, it would not be the humans who feared the galaxy. It would be the galaxy that feared humanity. The massive alien fleet hung in the darkness, silent but deadly. Ships bristling with weapons the galaxy had never seen moved into position, their commanders confident they could finally crush humanity. They had studied the humans. They had learned from their mistakes. They believed they were ready. They were wrong. On board the HSS Valiant, Captain Locke stood on the bridge, calm as ever. His fleet was in perfect formation, cloaked and silent. Hundreds of human warships, countless fighter craft, and fleets of drones waited patiently, invisible to alien sensors. Every weapon system was online. Every crew member knew their role. Humanity had prepared for this moment their entire lives. Commander Reyes leaned over the tactical display. Sir, their fleet is enormous. Larger than anything we've ever faced. Are we ready for this? Locke's eyes were cold and focused. We have faced impossible odds before. We have survived when every other species would have fallen. This is no different. Humanity does not hesitate. Humanity does not falter. Humanity answers every challenge with strength. And now, we show them the cost of arrogance. Far away, the alien commanders transmitted signals, hoping to intimidate. They are clever, one hissed, but numbers will crush them. Strike now. Show them human weakness. The human fleet waited. Patience was their weapon. The aliens believed they controlled the battle. They did not. Then, it began. A single human cruiser emerged from the shadows, firing a precision volley that tore through the leading alien ship. Explosions rippled across the void like a warning. And then another, and another. Human ships revealed themselves gradually, striking with perfect timing. The alien fleet was caught off guard. Locke's voice carried through the fleet. Engage all units. Strike as one. Show them what humans do when provoked. Fighters swarmed like deadly swarms, hitting weak points in alien shields, disabling engines, and taking control of critical systems. Massive warships fired concentrated volleys at command vessels, breaking formations and sending confusion through the enemy ranks. The aliens panicked. "Impossible," one screamed. "They predicted everything. Every attack. Every defense." Locke watched calmly as the chaos unfolded. "They thought they could manipulate us with a fake signal. They were wrong. Very wrong. And now, they will learn the true meaning of human fury." Amid the destruction, one massive alien dreadnought tried to break through the human lines. Its shields glowed, weapons charging, hoping to strike a decisive blow. Locke's hand hovered over the command panel. "Do not let it escape," he said softly. "Target everything." Every human ship opened fire in unison. The dreadnought convulsed under the assault, shields failing, engines burning. It drifted helplessly, a monument to human strategy and precision. Across the battlefield, the alien fleet collapsed. Command structures failed. Communications were jammed. Engines exploded. Ships collided or were destroyed by perfectly timed strikes. Humanity's fury was total, unstoppable, and precise. And still, the humans did not celebrate. Victory was not for boasting. It was a lesson. Locke addressed the fleet. "This is what happens when you try to deceive humans. This is what happens when you think we are predictable. Humanity does not forgive lies. Humanity does not ignore threats. Humanity answers. With fury." The stars were silent witnesses to the destruction. The galaxy would remember this day. The alien commanders who survived fled into the void, carrying stories of human power that no fleet could ignore. As the fleet regrouped, Captain Locke looked out into the darkness. "The signal was a trap. But we turned it into a lesson. The galaxy now knows. Humans are not to be trifled with. And this is only the beginning." Commander Reyes nodded, awe in her eyes. "We have shown them. Humanity cannot be baited, cannot be predicted, and cannot be stopped." Locke's eyes glinted. "Let them rebuild. Let them whisper warnings to each other. The galaxy will learn to fear humanity, not because we want war, but because we do not tolerate lies, traps, or deception. When humanity answers, it is with precision, power, and fury." The void settled again, calm but alive with unspoken warnings. Humanity had answered a fake distress call and turned it into a demonstration of dominance. The galaxy had seen the storm that humans could unleash, and no one would ever forget it. The HSS Valiant and her fleet moved silently back into position, ready for whatever challenge might come next. Humanity had survived the impossible, crushed the deceptive fleets, and shown the galaxy that when provoked, humans do not hesitate, do not forgive, and never lose. The stars themselves seemed to acknowledge it. Humanity had arrived. And the galaxy would never be the same again.